The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the podcast. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. The whole gang is back together today. Taylor is here.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. She's here in the studio with me. It's nice to have you here. Brian Frangie is with us today.
I'm alive.
You're alive. You're here. Noah's here. What's up, everyone?
I brought my show and
Happy. Oh, shut up. Noah has a clip. It's from Anthropology. It's the same clip that Taylor Swift had that I bought. Aren't those so good?
They're the best, and I've had them for years.
Dude,
they're worth
you
it.
have had them for years. It should have been a Noah-styled
She got it from me. Taylor got it from me.
Can we talk about clips, butterfly clips being so great that they're making a comeback? Because
Thank God.
when your hair is long as a woman's and it's like on day 2 after you style it, it's like after you slept on it, you don't want to wash it again because it's going to be, you have to blow dry it and style it again. You just want to leave it dry and like deal with it. And it's like it looks too gross to like leave down. And if you put it in a ponytail, the ponytail could be raggedy and that looks disgusting. Or a bun is like so hard to perfect in the right way and you end up looking pilgrimish.
They're for teens buns, I think.
That's an interesting theory.
Don't you think?
They just never look good on me. I always am like, why did you wear your hair like that? But a clip, when it's all put up almost like an updo style, 1950s with a clip, it looks presentable. Like I can wear it on stage. I can wear it on a Zoom call. I have dirty hair now in my life because clips are back. Mm-hmm. Clips were not back until like 2 years ago.
There's a huge gap, yeah.
Like they were lame.
Our teenage years too. Yeah, they were uncool.
Well, they peaked in the 80s, right? And I remember in the movie.
Well, they were big in the 90s too.
Yeah.
Like I remember being okay to clip your hair in the 90s and through high school, early 2000s. And then they vanished and we had nothing but the hair tie. Ponytail.
And rip your hair out.
Hair tie, by the way, is the operative word for...
No, it's rubber band.
Rubber band, then I'm scared I'm going to get something that you would put around envelopes and then it's going to tug at my hair. You know what I mean?
Like the guy from Saw is the one that decides what you get. Like, if I say rubber band, what if I get the
a rubber
pin?
band is a different thing.
Anya was at CVS and I was like, can you
it.
get me hair ties? But I'm like, what if she does it? What if that's regional? What if like hair ties is what I call them that are like rubber bands with the, like what's your favorite kind of hair tie? Like if you could have a rubber band to put your hair back in, rubber band hair tie, what would you have? What kind? Thickness, length, or like thick?
Scrungy.
Whoa, thin scrunchy. What color?
Oh, probably like a neon color, like neon green.
Really? But that doesn't go with everything. Like, what if I just like the thin black ones.
Like just the rubber band.
But I like them. I don't like them to be
fluffy.
too small because then you can't double it up. I want them to be like medium size.
Oh, no baggy either.
No baggy. When it gets
no.
starts stripping and you like, there's a little part of it that's just cloth and it's not rubber
yeah,
band.
it just sticks off like,
no.
And it goes into Brian's fanny pack. Well, not the fanny pack, your white pack thing.
Yeah, your disposable white pack or not non-disposable. Okay, and then but scrunchies are back as well, and those are great too. But having long hair is a fucking burden.
It's so annoying.
Oh yeah,
I hate it.
I agree. Even though I'm a man, I think
you just see her pain.
If I don't get a haircut for like. I don't get a haircut for like 4 months and my hair gets really long. It just takes like so long to dry your hair. It takes like 15
Yours is like an inch longer.
I know. But no, it does. And then when you get it cut, it's like, oh my God, what a delight. I've saved like 15 minutes in the morning because my hair is short enough to dry.
So true. Any girl that's ever gotten her hair chopped, you know the feeling of like, this is so easy.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I can't imagine being a woman. I mean,
All of
having
us
that
have
long
long hair.
hair is insane. How do you do it?
How long have you had long hair, Taylor? Like, when did you grow it out? You had shorty hair for a while.
I
All
had
through,
like
high school.
really short hair. Like
You did?
Yeah, a couple times in college, and then
Like
maybe
Jane
like
Lynch or like
10 years ago.
no,
Like
Naomi
Pixie,
Campbell.
I guess.
Oh, wow. Yeah, like she had a Jane Lynchy.
Oh my God, Jane Lynch.
I don't think she knows that
I don't know
reference.
who that is.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis and their older Jamie Lee Curtis.
Not Jamie Lee Curtis. Maybe a little
Was
longer
it
than that.
Hillary Clinton?
Was it a psychotic break that you had that made
I
this
did.
happen? Like
Yeah, I had
most people
a
when
bad
they go
boyfriend.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
And
wait, tell us.
I had this boyfriend that I think I didn't know yet. I had this really bad feeling about him. And then I broke up with him for like kind of a different reason. But then like a couple weeks later, I found out that he had been cheating, that he had like had a double life, that he was stealing all this money, that he got like Me Too'd for like molesting this girl. Yeah. And so I like just had this feeling that it was in my hair. And it was so weird. I just pulled it up and cut it.
Yes.
But I looked exactly like Miranda from Sex and the City. And it was
you have red hair.
Yeah, and I look like a lesbian, which I was becoming at the time. So,
Wait, so did he push you into being a lesbian? Like, was there? Obviously, that's not how people become lesbians, is dating people who cheat on them, men that cheat on them. But you did date a woman, and then she became non-binary.
They were
already non-binary?
Non-bin,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. So you dated someone who's non-binary, but you identified as a lesbian for a while, right?
No.
But you were like,
gay.
I'm gay.
Yeah, just to make it
Queer?
easier. Yeah, because I hate all the other words. They just seem so stupid to me.
But
like lesbian sounds mean because people called me that my whole life. And like queer, I don't like the word queer.
Mean.
It does.
Queer sounds cool, I think now.
Queer is cool, but I don't like identify as cool. I'm like,
well, you should. You are. You're one of the
Thank
coolest
you.
people all of us know.
I think a lot of the words sound mean because they are sometimes used. Like even
they're like
cisgender
slurs.
sounds mean to me. Like if someone says you're cisgender, it's like almost
God, you're
always
just cis.
it's always in a negative connotation. It's never like, oh, look at that cisgender hopping through that field or whatever. So it's
it's like saying you're a liberal now.
Yeah.
Like liberal
Yeah,
is like ugh.
woke liberal scum.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wait a second. We were talking about I think it's kind of funny when people take back the word, you know?
Oh yeah, take
I
back
really
the night.
love fat people saying I'm fat now.
Yeah.
I think that one's cool.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't call them fat, I realize.
it hurts my feelings when people say that.
What do you mean?
Well, my sister says like, "Oh, it's because I'm fat." I'm like, "Stop."
But is she saying it because
But
she's like being like, I wish I were skinny, I'm
No,
fat? Or is she
no.
saying it like, oh, I'm a fat person?
Yeah,
See, it doesn't
still
make me
seems
sad.
like a
I kind of
mean
like
word.
it. I know, but we got to
but if
change
she wants
that.
to do it, yeah.
Because I like people that are just like, yeah, I'm just fat. It doesn't mean anything about me. It just is what I am. And stop telling me I'm not. There's nothing worse than people being like, you're not fat. And it's
Yeah,
like,
who
well, would you
cares?
want?
Yeah.
So are you? I'm bigger than you though, bitch. Like I am. I identify as fat. But I like that they take it back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to be like, I don't like that. It hurts me. So what? I'm not fat, so I should shut
right.
up.
But
It's
it's
none of my business.
But
what
we
is
are
that?
so trained to think fat equals bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And morally
That's our
wrong.
problem.
And like you're lazy and stupid. Like all these things. I mean, it's just. But I like that they're taking back that word, and I love when people just say, yeah, because I'm a fat person. And I'm just like, oh, that's so cool
Yeah.
to say that and to be proud of it and not have it like be this thing. Of course, it's a thing that defines them, but it's not a thing that says anything about their character.
Yeah.
Mm.
Stupid people
that's
should
the
take back
difference.
stupid.
Yeah, they should.
They should be
God,
like, I'm
Honestly,
stupid.
I'm just stupid.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it, Brian. You're right, because this is the thing. People go, no one's fat, no one's ugly, no one's stupid. Yes, they
Yeah.
are. And being stupid, animals are stupid, but I don't think that they have any. I think that just because a creature is less intelligent doesn't mean that they deserve less love. Like
Yeah.
vegans are the ultimate people who are like. I think that a lot of people argue we can eat animals because they're less intelligent. And then that's just like, that's okay to do because they're dumb and they don't know. And it's like, well then we should kill all people that have mental retardation. Because by
eat
your
them.
stand, but
Yeah.
and
Yeah, as long as we're eating them and using all their bones.
So it's not,
Making broth.
Being less intelligent doesn't make you a worse person.
No.
In fact,
Sometimes
it
it
can make
does.
you a.
Stupid
mean-
people are great. It's
But
so
it's also for
fun
different-
to have stupid people around.
Sometimes I like them a lot.
There's
more than-
nothing more fun
They're
than a
funny.
stupid guy.
Cool.
You're just walking around.
Who's the stupidest person you've ever met? Have you like ever come across some real stupidity?
Yeah, well,
Like
I
at
worked on F
stores.
Boy Island. I mean, half
really good
those guys
point.
are stupid. They're so much fun, and they should just be like,
It-
"Yeah, I'm stupid," and it should be okay to admit
They
that
do
I don't know
sometimes.
something and I'm stupid, and that's great. We love that guy.
Yeah, that's the thing that we don't do a lot of is just saying I don't know.
I know. That's what I've been thinking a lot about that recently.
Right.
Like, why is it so hard? You just automatically before you can your brain isn't even working yet barely, and you're just like making excuses. Sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, now it's too late because I already started the excuse, but I should have just said I don't know. It's embarrassing.
That's another thing is
Defenses.
like because we just don't want to appear stupid because it has a negative connotation. We don't want to appear fat because it has a negative. Like these are society's things that they've put on. Like there's moral judgments about all of these things when there really isn't a moralistic judgment. I mean, people with Down syndrome are the sweetest, kindest people and some of the greatest people in the world, but they're stupider. Intelligence wise,
they've never committed any murders. I'm almost positive.
Right.
I would have heard of that. They've never like hurt, they don't hurt people.
Yeah, but it's somehow it's just
They have joy.
They're like a bad person if you're these things. But I think that we all are just so scared of being bad people all the time, even though like there's this. People are just so quick to make excuses about like, I'd rather just get the answer wrong and be really like, and then just have no one fact check me than just say, I don't know. If you were like, hey, this thing you did like isn't ideal. And the person goes, well, it's because of this and this. And it's like,
oh my God.
Just
stop.
let it, just say that you fucked up. It's okay to fuck up.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but I mean, maybe I do it as well. And I have to be better about it because I'm just noticing I think as I get older, I'm just better about calling out when something has been, I'm having better boundaries of like, hey, let's give an example. Hey, you were late. Can you not be late tomorrow? Like it just, I really like, it's really important to me that you're on time for this thing. Like if I was to say that to someone, the person goes, well, there was traffic. And also I didn't get the email and so I didn't know when to leave. And it's like, maybe just say, yeah,
of course.
I wasn't, sorry. I will do better in the future. But I think they think they're dealing with someone who's completely irrational, who's like, we're all used to getting like strikes.
From work, yeah.
You know, and
Get
like
written
my
up.
strike does not mean anything if I'm just like, hey, I didn't like this. Next time, can you do it this way? It means I've forgiven you and I'm just giving a corrective thing of like, I'd appreciate it. And it doesn't need to be, it can just be like, I fucked up. You're allowed to fuck up. Who's infallible besides Jesus?
You're asking
he is the
people
best.
to be more accountable.
Yeah, just like don't make excuses for why you fucked up or didn't or were thoughtless. You know, like today, for example, I was at Starbucks and getting some writing done before I had a 10:30 I had to be on air with a Baltimore station.
Oh, shit.
For their like Good Day Baltimore show. Because I'm going to be in Baltimore on Saturday. I'm going to be in Boston on tomorrow or tonight, Thursday in Boston, and on Friday in Boston. But that one's sold out. But I was promoting it, and for some reason, when I looked at my calendar, I just saw 10:30. You know, like that's what it was in my head is 10:30. I didn't recheck it.
Been there.
I'm at Starbucks. It's 10:07, and they're like, "Are you here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there." I heard it's at 10:30, so I'll be there at 10:30. I thought they were one of these stations. It's like, we need you to log on 20 minutes before to check the Zoom to make sure everything. And I'm like, no, I'll be there at 10:30. So I responded kind of like, yeah, it's at 10:30. I'll be there. And they're like, it's at 10. And I was like, oh no. And a first instinct is to be like, well, I think it was put in my calendar wrong but I looked at the calendar. It clearly says 10. So I just wrote, I'm so sorry. I just totally forgot and looked at and had it in my brain as the wrong time. It wasn't an excuse. It was just what happened. And you just own it and you just say sorry. You don't have to like make up a reason
There's power
for why it
in
happened.
that.
And you're still a good person. Because the truth of the matter is I am still a good person. Even if I did, the truth of the matter was I wasn't like, it's going to be on my timetable, not theirs. I just forgot. You're not a bad person for like reading a time wrong.
It sort of
so
feels
don't make
good.
all these excuses.
It feels good
Yeah.
to say
It does.
I messed up. Once you get past that hump of letting go of your ego and then saying, oh, I was wrong. I really messed that one up. It starts to feel good because you're just free of any sort of
man.
culpability. You're like, yeah, I fucked up. What do you like? And then you
Also,
start
I think
going
it lets
deeper into it.
Like it makes people, it makes it easier for them to let you off the hook. Because if you're just constantly
Yes.
making excuses,
They have nothing
they
to
get more
say.
combative because
don't.
they're like, no, we know
Nikki's
what we're
greatest
going to do.
pet peeve is when they don't let
wanna
you
d-
off the hook and they just want you to, they want to twist the knife.
Oh, when they keep,
Oh
they
my
keep
God.
reminding you, well, it really did
Jobs.
hurt when you did this. And I go, I know. And you're allowed to say that 2 more times
Mhm.
Yeah.
after I've apologized. 2 times as if I like ran over your dog purposefully. That's 2 more times. But like if I'm just late to something, I don't need to hear how sad you are about it
Yeah.
2 more times
It's
after I've
chill,
already
man.
atoned for it and said, I know how it made you feel. This is how I plan to not do it in the future. I will say, yesterday, Chris and I went to our couples therapy. which is so fucking good. If I can just tell couples out there, if you're struggling at all or like having a bad day or like just starting to like, you're just in a rut, couples therapy fucking rules, dude. I feel so close to him afterwards. I feel so like, hopeful about everything. And I go in there and I just get to admit to all the bad shit I've been doing. And I have this woman who also hears me and is like, it's one thing to apologize to your partner, but it's nice for them to see you like eat crow in front of someone else too. And admit like, I was a little baby bitch the other night when I suggested, why don't you? He was trying to do something nice for his family the other night. And I was the biggest cunt I've ever been in my life, I think. I was just in a bad mood about so many different other things. It was not even about this. But I think I told the girls chat, but there was like a slight emergency in his family. And he offered to go bring someone food that like maybe didn't have time to get dinner that night. And it was like all of a sudden this like thing popped up on his phone. He was kind of freaking out about it. He might have been like even welling up with tears. And I was just like, my boyfriend's leaving. I just got home. We were about to just start watching the rest of Beckham. Like we just had our Thai food that just arrived. Like everything was so cozy. And now he has to go like get food and deliver it. And I said, can't she just Uber Eats?
That's what I was thinking. Why is
it was so shitty because
he needs to support.
Thing, and the family
support.
needed him. And it was just me being, it had nothing to do with me being like, because my therapist was like, I think she was like, are you jealous of like the attention he gives his family? And it wasn't that. It was just like, I just wanted
You're just
my
logical.
night, and I was like annoyed about something else that had happened. And so I was just not in the mood to be graceful or let anything slide at all. And I do it all the time where I just catch myself being a bitch and I can't stop the wave. The tsunami's coming.
I'm all the time.
The shore has come out. It hasn't hit yet. And I could stop the wave, but I can't. And it's coming. And everyone run. And I just like am locked into it. But I was able to apologize for that and admit to it. And then I admitted to some other stuff that was really embarrassing to admit to. But it felt really good because I was like, I think this is the mark of a strong person is being able to see when they have failed in their life, even when it's embarrassing, and watch back at it and like be like, oh, I did this really dumb, ugly thing because I was being a widow baby. That makes me feel strong to be able to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's great to do that. I think the sign of strength for me is like being able to lift a lot of weights.
That's a good point.
If I can lift like a
Mentally,
TV
or-
over my head, that would be something.
Yeah, a TV? Wait, they're fairly...
Not anymore. Yeah, what are you going to get one with the tube?
If I could lift a small TV,
An
that would be
80s
great.
TV?
a
No,
CRT.
It's amazing. I've never
Wait,
done
isn't that
couples
the kind of-
therapy,
No.
but
Yeah.
Allie, I don't think has ever been to therapy at all.
Oh my
Not
God,
even
she's
like
like
one-on-one.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She looks like Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift also hasn't been to therapy, and it really annoys me.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think at this point she probably has.
Probably.
She has to talk to someone.
She has all the money in the world. Why wouldn't
Maybe
it would
you?
be
She's
hard
not
to find
public. 'Cause
someone.
You're too busy.
I think she's like mentally very sound.
It looks like
And
she has
handles
great
her feelings through
parents,
song.
I
to
don't
be
know about
honest.
that.
I know it does look like she has great parents, to be honest.
God damn
It
it.
does. Unlike Britney,
Oh.
who, Jesus
Brit.
Christ, got the worst hand dealt. She
Yeah.
got a pair of twos. Isn't that a bad hand?
That actually, it's not that
You
bad.
could have a
I mean, you could do something with
The
it.
worst hand in poker is a 2 and a 7.
2 and a.
Okay, well, her
Oh.
dad's a 7 and she's a 2. Oh, yeah,
What
because
about a
those
2 and
can't
a
be connected
5?
by any 3
Oh,
cards.
Yeah, and if you have 2 2s, you already have a pair, which is not nothing.
Okay. Well, I think it wasn't nothing because they definitely got her into dance classes and like nurtured her
So
career.
she had 2 2s.
But she didn't get anything on the river.
No, the river was like
She got
An 8.
a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll be back with more poker metaphors after this. All right, so last night was Halloween. What
Yeah.
did y'all do?
Let's go all in on Halloween.
Let's go.
I got some
How's the
spectacular
poker?
savings. I didn't actually.
Did you?
funny.
No.
They're going to be happening today. Candy. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Because that was my question for all the kiddos.
Mounds.
Mounds?
Whoa, that's a rare one.
You don't
People-
want an almond? You don't want milk chocolate?
Don't you want a secret
no.
almond?
I like dark chocolate. No,
Mm.
creepy secret
Have
almond.
you
that's
always
like
loved dark chocolate?
Yeah.
Even as a kiddo?
Yeah, I don't like sugar a lot.
Yeah.
What?
Dark chocolate's the
What a
best.
great life.
Yeah.
People
not
hate
like
mounds,
sugar.
though. People really will get mad at you if you say mounds.
Good,
to them.
I'll trade.
Someone has a great joke about mounds being just a horrible name for
It is good.
Mounds.
like they called it almond joy, and then they were like mound.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Who is
the
that?
Mound
Is
joy.
it Shang Wang?
Maybe. I remember hearing that at the Comedy Attic, so I think it must be a Midwest headline.
It's really,
Wait,
really funny.
Yeah.
We got to figure this out. It's only one thing. Why is it mounds? If it had the almonds as little titties in there, it makes sense.
No,
but it's
because they
just-
come in packs of 2.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you
they
get
do.
a full-size mound.
I've never had
It's
a full
2
size,
mounds.
probably.
Mounds is such a dumb name, though. It's like it sounds
so
like shit.
dumb.
It's like a shit log.
They really
Mounds
but
phoned
it
of
in.
doesn't taste
When
like
Almond
else do
one.
joys
they-
were my favorite.
What?
Really?
Oh,
Wait, you guys are
See, they're
I
good.
loved almond
Coconut's
joys.
great.
out of all candies.
I love the consistency of coconut. I'm a
Sure.
big consistency
Mhm.
gal, and
Yeah.
which is what I learned during COVID when I lost my sense of taste. None of my food choices changed. Everyone was like, "Now I can eat salads because they don't taste like anything," and I'm like, "No, taste doesn't matter to me.
Wow.
It really is about consistency, and I love that like gritty,
Yeah,
like,
sticks all in your
sinewy.
cavities.
Yeah, I love it. And then that crunchy little. I don't like when you get an almond joy and it's stale, and you have to like the
Oh.
almonds chewy.
Well, anything
Oh,
stale
no.
sucks. I mean, what's
Hell
good
no.
that's stale?
No, Peeps,
Stale
candy
beef?
hearts.
Those aren't
Yeah,
Halloween.
that's about it. Yeah, Peeps are not Halloween, but I'm sure they have Halloween
Meringue.
Peeps.
The worst,
Poppy might.
the worst
Oh, yeah,
stale
what?
candy by far, I think, is a Twizzler because you can't even eat it.
I kind of like it because you can't eat it. It's like the way I order my extra hot coffee, so it makes me go slower.
Oh,
Because
Nikki
otherwise,
used
I'm
to love
twizzling.
Nerds
Oh.
ropes.
Nerds ropes
Was your
are
favorite.
the greatest candy
What are
ever,
you guys talking-
ever. It's both a crunch and a chew
scrunch
in
and a
one.
crunch.
And oh my god, my mouth is watering thinking about Nerds ropes. Oh, I used to want to like tie one off and then with a Nerds rope and then inject Nerds into my veins. I love Nerds ropes.
BDSM your boner with a Nerds rope.
Last night, Poppy, who's 4.5, I asked her what her favorite candy was, and she was like, "I'll go get it." And she ran in another room, and she came back with a box of Junior Mints.
Oh, brother.
And I was like,
Good
for a
girl.
4.5-year-old,
Wow.
it's
Very
mature, yeah.
distinguished.
Yeah, that's a
It is
65-year-old
mature.
person at a movie.
She was like, it's either that or Rolos. And I was like, what? No, she didn't say that. But Rolos is
I was
another
like,
old
order a
person
Charleston
candy.
Chew. That's what
Heaths are very oldie timey, but
Yeah.
delicious.
Heaths are so good. If we're talking about like putting it into a blizzard, Heath is gonna be real good.
I want to give
But it could crack your toot.
a quick shout out to my cartoon. I did a T-Rex show exactly talking about favorite candies, and a lot of your candies were mentioned in the other side of the coin. As
Like the not good kind.
well, the way I
Snickers, overrated.
Disgusting.
So overrated.
this is crazy. The way I posed it was that there's two types
outta
of
here.
people. There's two types of people. There are people who love chocolate candies, and there are people who say, I just don't really like the chocolate ones. And like, there's just no. I can't. I don't understand
I
people
don't
who
eat
say
any
I
of it
don't like the
anymore.
like
chocolate ones.
Werthers.
But Snickers always was not. I would eat them. I'm not gonna lie, I would, but they were never ideal. I don't like the little strata that's on the bottom that looks like a seismograph. I don't like those. Like it goes like
I don't
like it looks like
remember
a.
what's in
it was
It's
made
caramel
when
and nuts, right? That's what you're talking about.
no, like the bottom. You know the
It's
bottom.
the
There's like these
surface.
etchings on it.
Yes. What's those?
Yeah,
etchings?
the bottom surface. Yeah, it's I don't know.
Secret
the ancient
code.
There's
Sumerians got in
hieroglyphs.
there. I don't like it. It definitely looks like an earthquake went off in the factory. I don't like the bottom.
Yes.
I don't like
remember
it's
that.
too many peanuts, and peanuts are like an adult food, and it made me always and it's almost too satisfying. Like it fills you up. Candy's supposed to be like an empty feeling.
like the
and after
slogan.
Snickers, I feel
Sadness.
I don't feel
That's the
exactly
whole commercial
like
campaign.
yeah, I like being hangry before when I'm eating candy. I like it to never satisfy. Oh, I just thought of one that's making my mouth do a weird thing. Okay, one that's so bad when it's stale, but so good when they're not, and they're rarely not stale. Like I think they are just made
Zero.
stale.
Yeah.
lemon heads.
Oh God. Well, that's
Ew.
shit.
I
Oh,
love
'cause it's like
lemon
No.
heads, but they gotta be
Dusty
crunkly.
on the outside.
No, they have like a chewy outside, and then inside
Oh,
you
no,
kind
no,
of get
no.
to the center. I
Trash.
don't like that chew. It's not a good
If you put out
consistency.
a bowl of candy,
Ugh.
lemon heads would be one of those things that just is there for until December.
I'm obsessed with them. I think they're so good. I think hot baked beans are disgusting. I never understood the appeal of those.
Hot baked. I've never even heard of those.
Boston
hot
baked
tamales?
Those Boston baked beans. Hot tamales are
Gonna
okay.
eat
They're
some
not better
tonight.
than Mike and Ike's. And then
Ew.
let's talk about. Oh, I love Jawbreaker minis.
This is
In
crazy.
the green box.
I
These are
hate
the
all
craziest
these.
candies.
I just crunch those right away. I don't let them dissolve at all. You can just crunch right
You're gonna
through.
break a tooth.
This feels like what an orphan
haven't
would
yet.
say if they when they couldn't afford Reese's cups. So they're like,
Reese's
I like the
cups are
lemon drops.
So
disgusting.
expensive.
Reese's
What?
cups feel like you're biting into a sock.
That's the
I
number
hate-
one
I
candy.
Disagree.
It's so like okay, this
No.
is the sound
Reese's
it makes.
Pieces,
It's like
though.
when you bite into a
'Cause you're
Reese's
all
cup,
about
it's like
texture and
You're not
not
supposed to
taste.
bite.
I
You're
don't
supposed
like
to,
that
like-
texture of
You
the
must
cup.
taste something.
You're
You
supposed
must
to let
have
it
some
melt.
like would you eat shit if it was textured like a lemon drop?
Some of it is good. No, no, I definitely have
with
taste,
shit?
but I think most of it for me is texture, and I just don't want too many peanuts in there because I'm not a Snickers gal,
Yeah.
So don't put peanuts in
What
my shit.
about
But,
Snick.
Butterfinger?
Love.
oh, disgusting!
Love.
I think I'm.
Favorite candy?
I don't like it.
Eating the chocolate off the outside was fun.
Kit Kat though, I like that consistency. Butterfinger though, it's too crumbly.
Kit Kats
And
suck.
it's too like
I liked it. It was
chalky.
crumble.
Kit Kats are
But then I
impossible
also
to
love
eat.
Smarties, which are chalk. So I don't really know. I'm all over the
Yeah,
map.
clown aspirin.
Wild.
Clown
aspirin.
Yeah. Kit Kats suck. They're impossible to eat. They're too small. They melt too quickly. The
You
only
love a big
you
cat.
gotta have a big cat. You can't eat a Kit Kat. Those are stupid. 4 of them. They should just take the 4 Kit Kats that are you break off, and they should just melt them together. It's too hard to eat.
Yeah, you're always doing the big cat. And when I made fun of you for licking your Kit Kat bar,
Yeah.
and you were like, "It's not a Kit Kat, it's a big cat."
That's right.
I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
Wait, it's like the dad of the Kit Kat?
It's like a one
Is that
big
what it is?
blob of a Kit Kat.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
More
just a
dirty
big
wafer,
daddy.
more chocolate, and it's
Wait,
Oh.
Crunch bars. we when Taylor and I were little kids, there was a snack bar at our pool.
A
That's where
woman that
Ta-
worked here was stupid.
Yeah, she was a stupid
She
person.
was owning it.
because she was not educated and possibly being molested at the time by
She
someone
was.
that worked at the place, and we later found out that no one really stopped it. We were
Wow.
mere children at the time, and we saw this child dating a very old man, but everyone seemed
He
fine
was
with
like
it.
35 and we're like, he was decrepit and old.
Well, he was too old for her.
He
She
wa-
was like
yeah, she was,
14
like-
or
yeah.
something. But anyway, that's beside the point. So that poor girl,
Sorry, April.
she was sorry, April. There was nothing we could do.
Oh.
But she worked at this concession stand, and one day they did like an overhaul, and they're like, "We're doing a new menu," and they like wrote down all the candies that you could get. And they put her in charge of writing the menu. And man, this girl was
I remember her
illiterate.
handwriting exactly. I could like replicate it.
And she spelled crunch bar. I mean, what was it?
It was like it was like church crunch.
UNCHS. Churches.
It was like church.
And so we would be just like little assholes and be like, "Can I have a scrunch bar?" You're so mean. Was there any other thing she misspelled that we laughed
There
at?
were, but I can't. Scrunch was so good. We would like go and just run up and look at it and then run away because we couldn't get enough.
It so much. Speaking of handwriting, I was with Kirsten this weekend, and she was writing something. She was like, filling out a writing in the tip, and she just has the cutest handwriting that's ever
back
lived.
upside down. Oh,
Oh.
it's like a little horseshoe.
It's so cute.
And her R just goes like.
But she said that you were over at her house and you saw like a little label sticking out of a Gwyneth Paltrow cookbook that said chicken soup that Kirsten had written. And you said, I could see this piece of paper in like an Aztec ruin, and I'd be like, Kirsten was here. Like you would know it anywhere.
And yours.
And mine, really? My
yes.
handwriting has changed so much through the years. Yours,
I can
was
still
always trying
recognize
to
it.
be you and Kirsten with your handwriting, because your handwriting was just the coolest. The number one
I
coolest
copied off
handwriting of all
yours.
time. And then Kirsten's was just cute as fuck. And I wanted to be both of you. So I did copy both of you. And I feel like that is like kind of my personality, is just like always trying to be other people, and then they kind of combine together, and then I get a mixture
you're
of Taylor and
perfect.
Kirsten, and then it's like that is me. Because whenever people are like, you're so unique, and I'm like, oh, that's just something I stole from this person because I wanted to be cool. And then together they made red and blue made purple. You know, so I'm purple, but I'm really just this person's red and this person's blue.
That's the Gemini way.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Enneagram 3?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you work on your signature, Nikki? Like, because you have to sign a lot of
Yes.
autographs. What did you do? What was your thought process behind that?
6th grade, just writing it over and over and over.
So you
and
haven't
over
changed
and
it
over.
Your
since sixth
signature is
grade.
good.
No, I actually, I just remember 6th grade doing it a lot and someone being like, why are you doing that? And I didn't want to say because I'm going to be famous, but I secretly thought it because that's when I started wanting to be famous. But no, I worked on it for a while. For a while, I did my E was really cool on Glaser because I would go out of the S and then I would just do a straight line out of the S. Like it circles around, comes out. And then I would do a dot,
Oh, that's cool.
a slash over it and a slash under it. So the E would just be like 3 lines.
Oh, that's
and there would
cool.
be no connective thing.
Yeah.
And then I would do an R. So that looked cool for a while. And then I also,
That was 90s or 2003. My sister also did the E.
yeah, it was pretty cool looking for a minute. And then it just got old. But then I deliberately, my parents had a poster from like the Monterey Music Festival or something. And George Harrison was there. And it wasn't his real autograph, but it was like a print of it. And he signed his G, like a lowercase G, his for George. And I thought that was way cooler looking than a cursive G. Cursive G's
cursive
look like
Gs.
So
fucking
ugly.
like
hell.
ships.
It's like a
They look like a
torture
harp.
device.
Yeah, I don't
What the
like
fuck
it.
is that? Yeah. Why is it a harp?
Yeah,
I
I don't
know.
like. It's a giant
Why is it a
arm.
liar?
Harp
I
doesn't
don't
have G in it.
leer. Yeah, it's a liar. I do crosswords.
Very good.
Me too.
So I did a big G, a big lowercase G and I continue to do that to this day.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then my N, I do a big loop, and everyone always says it looks like a J. So really, famous people's autographs never look like anything. And Taylor Swift is my favorite because she just writes like Taylor, and it just looks like you could fit it in a circle, her entire autograph. And I think that's very cool. So
yeah.
I'm trying to get
Shape is
more
good.
minimalistic with it.
Shape is good.
NRG was a cool one they used to do.
Oh yeah, I would do an
NRG.
N, and then the R, I would do like a triangle. Like the top part of the R was a triangle, and then the bottom part would go down, right? And then that triangle that the R made would be like the shape of a G. You know, like it's almost like a C shape, and then I would connect that, and I would do NRG.
Your middle names are?
Yeah, Renee, and my
Oh, I didn't know
initials
that.
are Energy.
Yeah.
My parents didn't know it either.
There's a football
It's-
stadium named after NRG.
I know. I went there for Taylor Swift, and I was
Wow,
like,
that's
"It's mine."
mine.
It's
Was
all
it in
coming
Houston or
together.
Dallas?
Yeah, Houston Texans.
That's right. That's right. Arlington.
My
right?
signature,
No, that's Dallas.
I changed like in adulthood because my old signature I felt like was taking too long to do because I would do like the whole name. So
Oh my God. When people write when they sign checks or something, I'm just like, just scribble something, you
it's like,
fool.
oh my God. Do you ever
People take
actually
so long
sign?
to sign things.
Yeah.
When
Make
that
it look
iPad
like your
comes
actual
around
name.
and you have to sign, do you ever do anything other than a line?
A line.
No, I just do a scribble. Like I
Yeah,
do
so
something. I don't do
what
a whole
the
line, but I do a
fuck is-
scribble. When people are writing their whole names,
Like, can we
they're
stop?
fucking John Hancock in the Declaration of Independence, you are so slow.
You're
Just
so
hurry
old.
up.
Can you
You're so
stop?
old.
God.
Put away your checkbook.
Embarrassing.
Can they just stop asking us for a signature? Like, is anyone actually like cross-checking this? Because
No
no one is
one-
actually
yeah.
signing anything anymore.
No, you're so right.
It's so pointless. Yeah.
My
But-
signature,
Because it's a contract.
Yeah.
it used to be
it's gotten
Brian Frangie, and I would, and then God, when I was like starting comedy, I had the M in there because my name was Brian M Frangie because I thought that
Why?
That's too
because
long.
no, I was Brian M Frangie. I wore a blazer on stage, and
You
Brian and
You needed an
Frangie.
identity.
yes, and I thought that no one's gonna remember my name, but they'll remember that I had a middle
Aw.
initial. So they're like,
Aw,
oh yeah, that guy with the
Brian.
middle initial. So, but I
That's
changed.
so cute.
I changed my signature to my first name is Brian, so it's BR, and my last name is Frangie, so it's FR. So it's kind of like BR FR. So I do BR and then a line. No,
what do you
other-
mean it's kind of BRFR?
I don't know what I mean by that. They're like similar.
I
They-
thought it was like, okay.
They
I get-
both
I get
have
it.
R's. So like it's like a B,
Right.
a capital letter, and then an R, a capital letter, and then an R. So there's like some symmetry there. I go BR
Oh, got it.
and then a line. I don't do any of the other
Short
letters.
for-
And then the
Oh,
line.
whoa. You're
and
like,
then-
you get it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the line goes through the F, like the bottom arm of the F.
Cool.
And I do an F.
I gotta
Cool.
see it. Can you do it on a piece of paper? I want to see.
Yeah, I can. I'll do it on a piece of paper, and this will be a YouTube exclusive. They'll see-
People are going to be clamoring.
Everyone else
Yeah.
will just have to check out the YouTube because you won't want to miss this BRFR.
Last night they got Fun Dip,
Who?
the kids,
Oh, you went
which
to
is
your
also a
sister's?
chalky hell.
What's
Yeah.
Fun Dip? Oh,
Like the
hell no.
sugar
chocolate.
You get like
It's
a
with
candy
sugar.
that you lick,
stick
and then you dip it.
that
Yeah.
you can also
that's it.
snort.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I like
It's
Yeah,
just
it does look
blind.
like it looks like Bring
fruit.
Friday.
Yeah, bring,
Like it looks like someone. Yeah, Bring
It
fruit.
looks like you're censoring
that's pretty
yourself.
Yeah, it does.
I like it.
Badass.
I like it too.
And it's quick.
That we missed that M though, because how is anyone
What
going to
does the
remember?
M
No.
stand
About
for?
that M?
Martin?
No,
Yeah,
not-
what is them? Martin.
No, it's the most common.
Magoo.
You can guess it instantaneously.
Michael.
Yes,
Matthew.
Matt, that's correct.
Matt.
Matthew. It could have been Michael
All
too, but
right.
Matthew.
Yeah, that's pretty common as well.
BMF, BIMF, and then that also stands for bad motherfucker if you're like if you like that. But my brother's initials are Adam Richard Frangie, which spells ARF, which is funny.
Did your parents think about that?
No.
Did they
I want
ever
to think about.
what if
I
was
had a kid, I
butt?
would make the initials be cool.
Yeah,
Mine is
that's something to think
time,
about.
and yours is energy.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Kirsten's is Kif. I
Kif.
like that. Noah, is yours cool? Do you have like a bunch of middle names?
I don't have a middle name, but I wish I had one with an O because then my initials would spell my first name.
Yeah,
That would be the coolest.
Wow.
Oh God.
Oh yeah,
Damn
you
it.
can pick a middle name. It could be Ophelia.
Oh, I like
Because
it.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
Give it and then put it on your birth
That's
certificate.
my name now, my middle
That
name.
would be good.
Noah Ophelia.
Wait, what's Avi's last
Avior.
name?
Colorway.
NAC. NAC. That's like a supplement people take for focus,
Mhm.
right?
Come. I wonder if anyone's come.
I'm sure
yeah.
there's people with, but there's not really a lot of U names.
No, Ulysses, Ursula.
Ursula. That's
Um,
it. Oh my God.
Ugly.
Last night I was going through, I was at Poppy's room and I was looking at her class. Like there's a printout of all like the kids in her class with
I
their
love
names.
those.
And seeing the new names are so great.
What are they?
There was one that said Gugu.
Google.
That's what I said.
Whoa.
I go, who's Gugu? And she goes, what? It's Juju. And I'm like,
Uh-uh.
oh, sorry.
No,
it's
Jesus.
not.
It is very much Gugu. And Gugu is a cute name, and she
It
was a
is.
cute little girl. Then there was a girl named Eleanor, and I was like, are you friends with Eleanor? She was like, what? No, there's no Eleanor. And she was like, Ellie. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh my
It's no
God.
Eleanor here. Jesus. Edith.
Wow, these
Oh,
are
they're
like
going back to the
1910s.
basics. I like
Yes,
those.
Yes, but Poppy has the best name.
That is obviously.
Poppy's a great name.
Like the best name going. And then yeah, Poppy's going through this phase of like, I think she like really loves me. It's so awesome.
Hell yeah.
Where she was just
She
like,
always did.
she's
but
kind of just
if
like
she loves
looking
you
at me
more-
like smiling and just like she just wants to like be close to me and like hold onto my arm. Is there ever a better feeling than a kid or a dog leaning on your arm,
I
like
wouldn't
resting
know.
its head?
no.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And she kept going like, when are you leaving? And it sounded like she wanted me to leave, but it was the opposite. She was just very worried that I was leaving. And I don't even come around that
Aw.
often, but I think they caught on that I have money because they kept being like, how much did that cost? Like you can just tell their parents have conversations
Little
about my money. Like they've just heard, they've caught on. And they're like, do you have 6,280? And I'm like, I think so. I'll have to check with my accountant.
Wait, how would they know that?
They just
They
because
just heard someone say
you
something.
absorb
Okay.
like there was. I think I bought Arlo that giant skeleton that was like $60, and I think my mom made a big deal of like, you bought that for $60. And my mom is always talking about how everything she gets for $3 for them. So I think
At
they
the
were just
will.
like, you have so much money, and they was like, can I have money? And so they're starting to understand what matters in this world.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
that
They get
is cool.
Arlo's a
and
cool
then
name also. I don't want to just Arlo's also as cool as Poppy, I think.
It's great. And then Forrest
What
comes
about
in third.
Forrest?
I mean, it's okay.
I like Forrest.
No, Forrest is a great name. And calling him Forey, he's just like so freaking cute. I can't even stand it. But just drooling constantly. I think, honestly, I think one of the things I don't like about kids is the drool.
anything that comes out of their mouth.
The constant
is-
drool.
No.
Any outfit you have around
It's 'cause
them
they're
is going to get
teething.
stained by the drool.
like laughing and food
It would be
flies
nice,
out.
though,
I
to
can't-
never have any nice clothes and just know that everything you
Sure.
wear is not nice.
Or just to
And,
put like a little
being
mask
committed
on
to
them.
that.
Well, they have those
Yeah,
little
he's always-
bandanas for drool.
Yeah, he has that, but he's always like putting his hands in his mouth and then he touches your hand. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, every time he touches me, I'm sure he feels me tense up like, oh, the
Oh,
sweater
yeah.
is dry clean only. Oh, God. But it's just like, just wet hands
Oh,
that
God.
are like grabbing things on the ground and have like carpet fibers in them, but also chocolate.
If I had a kid,
and
I would give him a Bane mask and oven mitts, and I wouldn't let him touch me.
I think it's so funny that I really last night was starting to be like, oh, it would be nice to have a family. Like, this is kind of sweet. Like, these kids' affection. Like, I know this seems overwhelming, but there was a dial of me that was churning towards like wanting kids, but not. And then the drool started flowing, and I was like, the dial went even into negative.
And then the drool stuck in the dial and made it speed back really fast.
It was.
You were there at the best time, though. You were there when they were all enjoying Halloween. You weren't there
candied
at
up.
11 p.m. when they weren't going to sleep because they were sugar high, and you were like, "Please."
I was there late, and they were all in the bath, and my sister is there, and she is a teacher. And
They're
she's
in the
like,
bath together.
They're all in the bath together.
God.
It was so cute.
I want to see that.
So fun, and the water was like splashing all over the place, and I was like, my sister's just so calm and cool, and I was like, God, we're gonna have to clean up this water, and then my mom is like, we're leaving, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna go too, and I'm like, I can't just leave you with all of this, like, and then Matt comes back upstairs and looks like the most deadbeat dad because he's been like handing out candy and like hanging with the neighbors. He's such a great dad, but like, it looked like my sister had been like, she's upstairs with those 3 kids in a bathtub, and then he walks up in a hot dog costume, and like, you look like the biggest piece of shit that's ever lived. And he's like, what's going on, guys? And I'm like, and she's like struggling with one kid in one arm and has his book in the other. But Forrest is obsessed with. It's just so funny when babies have taste, like when they like, I like this, but I don't like this. He's not even 2 yet. And he loves, his favorite book is Cement Mixer. And it's just a book. We were laughing
What
so
happens in
hard.
that?
And I go, did Arlo like this? She was like, he had no interest in trucks or anything like this. Like I learned how a cement mixer works. There's all the different parts of the cement truck that you pour the cement into, the gravel, and then it spins to keep it wet. And then there's the slide where it comes off of. And the guy is named Bo. That was the cement mixer. And Bo does this. And then Bo's job is done. And then it's going to dry. And that's how you do a floor. And it was like, he was fascinated by it. And then we were like, pick out another book. And we kept picking out these books. And he'd be like, no. And he's 2. And he just knows he doesn't want to read about woodland creatures. He wants to read about only trucks, like pictures of trucks.
Yeah.
What? This is like
That's
where
why Bob
you
the
just go,
Builder was so popular.
how do they like trucks? Why would a child want to read about a
'Cause they're
cement
given it.
mixer?
Boys are given that, and
But Arlo
girls are given
wasn't.
like soft toys. They did an experiment. I just taught about this where they dressed up. They cross-dressed the kids, and then they put like caretakers, and they played, and they had all the boy toys and girl toys, but they dressed the girl and the boys' clothes. And all of the people over and over were giving the girl only the girl toys. It's just like ingrained in us that that's probably what they want. And so they were giving all the
Even
girls
when the
toys.
kids were dressed,
They were dressed and they're
not in their.
and then they told the person at the end,
You're a
they
bad
were
person.
cross-dressing. Why were you giving her all the girl toys? Oh, I just, they were closer. And they're like, would it change if I told you that was a boy that we put in girls' clothes? And they were all like, oh, I just thought I was so like advanced, but
so
they were tricked.
Okay, I misunderstood. So if you're dressed like a girl, you're gonna get girls' toys.
Yes, they believed, and so it's just within us to do, because the kids aren't choosing things. We are choosing
felt
things.
Like mad that I couldn't have boy. I didn't want. I liked girly things, but there was a part of me that did want some boy toys that I
Why
thought were
give
off
the
limits.
toys? Why not just say, which one do you want? And then let the kid decide that he wants the truck.
Because they're like too little at that age, probably.
Or what about like you're buying them a present?
That's how they're getting everything. The mom or the parents are going to Target and buying it. And
But
so
there are this is just, there are girls that just know they want to be moms. Like even they're like, since I was
yeah,
a
it's
young
crazy.
baby, I've
Sure.
known I want to be a mom.
Yeah.
And I have a joke about it, but I just was always, honestly, when I had baby dolls, I was disgusted when people would be like,
never, ever
are you
had
a
one.
mama? And I'd be like, no one fucked me.
Pedophilia.
Yeah, like I kind of knew that something hanky-panky went on to make a child where it was like, I don't have
don't wanna
that,
do
and I
that,
don't want
yeah.
to do that, and like this is just
It
pretend.
comes out of somewhere, and wherever it is, I don't like it.
Yeah, I just
I was
just
listening
a little bit
to
creeped out.
what's that guy's name? Andrew Huberman, to his podcast.
Yes,
He had a podcast about fertility, and he said that there was a study that found when very young girls live at home without a father and the mother is dating and she brings around different men, the little girls start to mature way faster than girls who have their father around. And that was like
Oh.
very interesting.
Weird.
Yeah, like they'll
They're
start
like,
getting
what
body
they wanna
hair.
mimic
Oh, they start to
the mom.
mature like physically.
Yeah.
Because there's like
Wow.
men around that they could
And they're
fuck.
responding to it in this like subversive
like their
sexual
hormones
way.
respond to this like new dick energy coming
Yes.
in that they could possibly procreate
NDE.
with.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
Because their dad, they're not going to be turned on by because that would make a baby that has an arm coming out of its eye.
Yeah.
Maybe it's competitive. I mean, like I didn't really get any more than just that
Whoa.
detail.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
human nature.
God, there's like 4 men jerking off to this part of the podcast right now, at least.
Thank
And
God
your
it's only
initials are
4.
CUM.
they're totally
Carl
initialing
Ulysses
to this right now.
MacGyver.
Carl,
All
get
right.
out of here, Carl.
Let's take a break and come back because Taylor's going to what class are you teaching today? Psychology?
Yeah, both of them are psychology. Yeah.
Yeah, Taylor's a prof right now, and I want to talk about the lesson that she's going to talk about today because it's
Speaking of.
speaking of, it's interesting stuff. So we'll be back with a little lesson in what is it called?
Paraphilia.
Paraphilia, and we'll find out what the fuck that is. Anything with philia ain't good.
Because I want to feel you in a different way.
All right, we're back. Paraphilia. What does philia mean when something is that word is on a word?
It means love from Greek.
Oh, okay. So
Philia.
it's para.
To love something. Para means anything other than. So it's abnormal.
So what does the name Ophelia
Abnormal
mean?
love.
Like, oh, I love you.
Wow.
Probably.
That's a good name then.
But it's not spelled the same way.
Oh,
Okay.
it's FEL or
E-
PH?
It's, I think Ophelia is PHE, but it's
Yeah.
PHI.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
that's
So
the
you're
difference. I
teaching
don't know.
your students about paraphilia today.
Yes.
So like people that like want to fuck cars and stuff.
yeah, well, anything. Yeah.
Anything that's abnormal. Pedophilia.
Yeah, fetishes, all that stuff. Sadism.
What's
They're watching we're going to
Ooh.
watch some Jeffrey Dahmer.
because he wanted to fuck people who did not have any consciousness.
Yeah, well, he's a sadist.
Well, they wanted, so he liked pain. But
Yes.
he was kind of making them not in pain though, I thought. Because he would pour acid into their brain so they'd be zombies. He wanted to just fuck something that didn't have any autonomy but was still alive.
Right, but it's not
was
that's not
into
a
their pain?
fetish. I mean, because a fetish means it's not a person. Or you have a fetish only with a body part, which is partialism. So the only thing that he has, even though it's crazy, is he has sadism because he does hurt people, but it's also they're still being hurt even if they're like not conscious,
But
especially
wasn't
if they're
his
dying.
thing like he wanted to fuck something that was a zombie? Like that was what
Yeah.
he kept trying to do.
He
was-
didn't want to kill anymore. He just wanted to keep them so he wouldn't have to do that. He didn't like that part. He wanted them to just submit and he wanted control.
Oh, so
Mm.
is being into control, is that a paraphilia?
That's part of sadism.
How many
yeah,
people
but
did he
it's
do
also
that
part
to?
of 17.
I was gonna say that.
So he killed 17 people? How
Just
many people
watched a
did he
video.
like pour acid on and then make them like a zombie?
That was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, not
Jesus.
as many.
I mean, the craziest one
It's
was that he did it
wild.
to a young boy who actually
14 or
his
something.
brother was one of his first victims.
Oh my
Mhm.
God.
They didn't connect it.
And he forgave him. He paid him off, I think.
Yeah, he, something I forget. I watched the Dahmer show. If you watch the Dahmer show, this is old news. But like the kid, he drilled in the kid's head, poured the acid in.
God
The kid
damn
is
it.
just like knocked out and fucking bleeding from his head. The kid escapes, has the wherewithal to escape. He goes out into the street. He runs up to these women find him. He's shaking. He's naked. He's a child. He's like 14. And the cops come. And then Dahmer comes and is like, my
boyfriend.
My boyfriend. And because cops are so homophobic and didn't want to even deal with, he really got away with a lot because he was gay. And the
Mhm.
cops were just like, I don't even want to
And
even
'cause they
walk
were
around this apartment for this
not
gay
white
guy.
people too.
And they were, and the child was not white. He was like low Asian or something.
And they were like, oh, they probably just look young because that's what like Southeast Asian people look younger,
Right.
or
Jesus
whatever.
Christ.
And the women that were with the little boy holding him away from Dahmer were like, this baby is bleeding. He is scared. He couldn't make sense. He was not making sense because he had a hole drilled in his fucking head, but it was such a small hole that it was like untraceable and in his hairline, so you couldn't really see where he was and they
just
just
said he was
convinced him that
drunk.
he got too drunk and they got into a fight and that he's his lover and that so he really used that was very interesting how he used their homophobia against them and their racism
Mhm.
and was able
God
to
damn.
keep doing
What part of the
stuff.
country was this?
Milwaukee.
And what
Where
year?
I was last weekend. You missed out. 1990.
Holy, this was 90s?
Early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's
You were alive for this.
horrible.
It's you got to watch Dahmer. It's a great show.
I don't want to watch it. No, this
No,
is
Dahmer's not
disturbing.
good. Watch the interviews.
This is
They're better
disturbing.
than the show.
Yeah. Oh, and it's so. Okay. So, what are you teaching them today?
How
Just
to drill
all
the
of the
hole?
definitions of all of these. And I have one, how to drill.
What to put in it?
I have 2 classes, and one is like quiet and like fun, loud and fun. And this one's like the really quiet one. Like when I taught about depression, everyone was just like silent. And when I walked out of the class, I went like, oh, because they're just like very quiet.
Oh
kids.
yeah, didn't you make it audible? You were like, oh, and they like heard you gasp when you left.
I just sometimes I'm like, and I kind of mess with them. I'm like, well, I'm sure none of you have depression. I'm sure you're very bright and fun and exciting outside of this class. You just don't want to show it to me for some reason.
Right.
But so I'm a little worried about it because I'm going to be like, and sadism and
What about
pedophilia
people-
and incest. And they're going to be like,
Oh
boy.
What incest is that like? But isn't incest?
Incest is not a disorder.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's almost like prison-y, where it's like, well, this is just what I got right here, so I'll just do it.
It is. It's
It's
people
kind of
do
like
it out of
convenience.
Out of convenience, they do.
Mm.
That's
It's
so
not.
crazy.
It's not often like physically forced. It's usually you manipulate people.
As someone who watches a lot of pornography, step stuff,
Like the
and
most popular one.
it's
Is it?
yes, by far. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
Huh.
And then I'm someone who's into like I've been typing in recently. I don't like to really talk that dirty on this show, but I just have to say, like, I've been typing in like daddy stuff because that is something that just turns me on. Like, just not even like I'm not actually thinking about my father when I say
That's
that. By
because
the
those
way,
are the
it's
only
just I like the
ones
dynamic.
that say like good girl and stuff like that.
Yes, and that where the guy is like really verbal.
That's what you want to hear.
'Cause I really
is
like the
good
guy-
Girl?
Yeah. Oh, lots of women do.
Oh.
We all want to hear it.
Oh, like take it. Take it.
No,
all.
just like I want what I like in sex is like being pushed to my limits, but like being impressive. Like it's almost the same thing I like in my career life.
like
is
a
I
gymnast.
I like people going, "Wow, you are so exceptional at that."
Oh.
Like a lot of girls wish they could do that, but they can't. Like I like being like someone being like, "Whoa, you are such a whore." Like I can't even fathom that anyone would take this much, whatever.
Like
you know,
someone
like
holds up a sign that has a 10 on it.
yeah.
Yeah, gymnast.
I just want someone, but I also like the idea of like a coach type figure where it's like someone who knows that you're capable of achieving great things, is pushing you to your limits, and then is like really impressed when you do. So I like that verbal confirmation. So like the daddy stuff, I only type in daddy because there's no other, like, I guess praise kink is what I'm into, but there's no other
Praise
really like, I just know that that's where I'm going to find those kind of videos. Like Noah said, like, it's not about like the dad figure.
Yeah.
And even if you're into stuff where it's like kind of daddy or whatever, like, it doesn't mean you want to fuck your dad. Like I have done a lot of like research on this where it's like, and by the way, I don't call my dad daddy, so I don't have a problem with saying daddy in bed because I would never, I've never in my life said daddy
I've
to my
never said
father.
that.
And if you do, I think it's
really
really weird
creepy.
and you shouldn't do it past a certain age. I even think it's weird when adults are like, well, daddy's going to be home in a, like,
Mm-mm, I hate
think, when do you think daddy should stop being said for children? I think
like
6.
Yeah, 8.
8
7.
is kind of the limit. I think 9 years old, we go to dad.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me. And I know there are people listening being like, there are adults that call their dad daddy and it's not weird for them. It's just weird for me, I
It's
guess.
weird. I never
Um,
called my dad daddy or dad.
Yeah.
We called him just random shit. Now I call him Jimmy, but I used to call him we called him OG for old geezer and like pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like joking, or we never said like
Yeah. I'd
dad.
call him the general. You know.
You did.
No, I'm just kidding.
Nuh-uh.
I'd call him
Final
You just called him
Maverick.
sir.
Hey Maverick, when's dinner? You know, stuff like
Last night, Poppy
Senior.
did say, I was like, you know that Junior Mints are Grandpa's favorite candy. And she goes, Grandpa? And I go, yeah. And she had 2 grandpas there last night. So she goes, EJ? I just love it. I was like, Dad, she's calling you EJ. And he was like, she just started doing that. I don't know what that is. It stands for ejaculator.
That's how you were born. It was a long road, but he made you.
But porn is just like, I type in daddy and you guys, I see stuff that I'm like, I think I should report this. Because it's adult women dressing up as children. And I don't think that's okay. Even though they're adult women. I don't think is that okay?
Why?
I guess so.
I mean, what's
Because
wrong
it is
about it?
it's honoring a thing. It's like saying, we wish we could do this, but we can't.
But isn't that
so we'll
good
just
that
dress-
it's in porn so that people who
It's
like that
sublimation.
But I think it I have a lot of weird thoughts about this because I do think that, pedophiles should maybe have sex dolls that they can act out on so they don't actually hurt children. But then it's like, is that making them go, I want the real thing more? You don't think so?
No, anything that can stop somebody from actually doing it, I think is
But
good.
what if it like sometimes, I don't know, I do a simulated thing and I'm like, man, this just makes me want the real thing even more because this thing isn't.
I think it's different when it's
Crime.
something that is like a crime or like
Yeah, I
or
guess.
will have a victim
I'm
and
just like,
pain.
There's some
associated.
things that I see that I just like, and do I get off to them? 100% because they are covering all the other things that I want, which is the discipline, the like, I'm mad at you, you've been a bad girl kind of things. So it's all so blurry and makes me feel weird. But you know what makes me really feel weird is all the constant ads for old people that I get. Like if you watch porn, Brian, you've probably dipped your toe in that world. Do you get constant old saggy women's boobs of like, there are old women in your area that want you to fuck them? And they're just like literally 70-year-old
Like,
women.
how about the
It's
opposite?
as disturbing as seeing children. I mean, it's like, ugh, like, because it's something that I have to say, like, you should not be sexually attracted to 80-year-old women. That seems paraphilia, right?
It's not, but I mean,
Shouldn't it be though? Like, because at that age, you're not supposed to be like a sexual attractive being.
yeah, as long
There
as
are
it's a
some hot
human,
80-year-olds. I'm not saying that they're not, but
as
like
long
when
as
you're
it's a human, you're good. That is not too young.
I don't
But I
get
get a
those
lot of
ads.
that.
I wonder why. What I'll get is an ad for like Lois from Family Guy fucking Homer Simpson and like a
That's an
Japanese
ad.
anime girl getting plowed, by Bart.
I get jerkmate a lot or chatterbait, and it's always just like, I also don't understand the ads targeting people that are like, you want to come in 30 seconds? And I'm like, no, I want it to be like 30 minutes.
Can you
of
not
goonin'.
figure out how to come right now?
Goonin?
Yeah, I like goonin'. I've talked about it before, but I like
I think
the anticipation of the
Goonin'.
orgasm. I don't like the
goonin'.
orgasm. So when they're like, you can come in 7 seconds or less, I'm like, that seems
Yeah, I know.
awful.
Yeah.
But I guess some people are just on a tight schedule, and so that appeals to them.
I gotta go to work.
Yeah, and then are people also figuring
they
out
are at
like
work.
really? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Are people also? There have been times, by the way, that I've been on a plane and I've been like, I really want to fucking watch porn right now, and so I kind of understand. I would never do it, but I understand why people sometimes sneak it because on planes, if you ever see me on a plane, try to film what I'm watching. I give you permission to, if I catch you trying to film what I'm watching, because I think it would be hilarious to catch what I'm watching, because so often it is ASMR and
or
it's
that
so
girl that
weird.
face is really messed up because you find inspiration in her.
Oh yeah, it's either someone who's horribly disfigured, who's talking out of a straw in their lower cheek because they got burnt by a volcano, or and I'm jerking off to it, or it's someone eating an enormous amount of food. I really like the sound of chewing.
Oh, mukbang.
I like mukbangs, but most mukbangs are like, I'm gonna eat this live squid, and I'm like, just eat some fucking candy, man. Like my favorite mukbanger right now, if you want to check them out. I know I've said turn people onto this. There's this person. She eats so much fucking food, and they do one meal a day called OMAD, 1 meal a day.
Oh,
But they eat
Yeah.
so much, and it's so soothing, and they don't talk at all. I don't even know what their voice sounds like. And that is VNM ASMR. They have like
Is that supposed to be healthy for you?
and 168,000 followers. No, and like this is ASMR candy ice cream, Snickers chocolate, Twix cookie, Milky Way caramel bar, or an Oreo cookie sandwich. This person ate, I mean, look, I'm looking at this. 2 Oreo ice cream bars, 2 Snickers ice cream bars, 2 Twix ice cream bars, 2 Milky Way ice cream bars, 2 Kind Bar ice cream bars, and 1 gigantic M&M cookie in one sitting. And it only took them 11 minutes and 54 seconds.
How much money did they get for that?
For this, it has 4,500 views, and it was posted 7 hours ago. So this person is averaging.
Oh, you know by how many views, how much money they're getting?
Yeah, I mean, her biggest video has 3.7 million views. That's when she ate a bunch of ASMR chocolate ice cream. And then
how much do you get for 1 million views?
I bet she's probably making a couple grand a month.
Yeah,
for having 168,000 followers. Don't
Should
you
I
think
do
so, Brian? Yes, I would love if you did ASMR, please.
Not eating,
but you like ASMR,
I like to
right?
tap. Yeah,
you should. Do
and now
it.
I have long nails. I should tap.
Oh my god, it would be so fun if you did ASMR.
You're such a good boy. You're such a cute boy.
Yeah.
Petting a dog,
tapping, and just talking, and it's so soothing. I wish I just watched like sports when I was on a plane or something like that other people could look at.
I should make I should make a video where I eat a cookie for 2 hours. One single cookie.
That would annoy the fuck out of me. I want to see people eat
like,
the amounts of food that I want to eat. Like I'm watching it because I wish I could binge and I can't. So I'm like living vicariously. It's like porn.
I used to watch it because I wanted to tap, but I bit my nails in now.
Oh my God. Yes, it is
we
that.
are just looking at what we want.
If you ever
inspiration.
look at Muckbang like comments, there are always people that are like, who here's on a diet? And it's all people that are so starving and just wanting to watch someone eat. So it's usually something when I'm like trying to be good and behaved, I watch those ASMRs, but I just love it so much. So try to take a picture of me on a plane. We got to wrap up this episode. Any more Halloween thoughts? Any best costume you saw? Did you hand out candy?
I did nothing.
We had no trick-or-treaters. We just went for
Really?
pizza
None?
at Rocco's.
That's so nice.
Oh, I guess I didn't either. I didn't hear the doorbell.
That's why I like living in an apartment. There's no trick-or-treaters.
Allie and I went to the Chargers Bears game and dressed up like skeletons, which has now become like kind of a tradition where we go to a football game on Halloween and dress up like skeletons.
You guys don't need therapy. It's just too cute. That's so adorable.
And then we made a sign. We made a sign
Uh-huh.
that said "We are skeletons" on it.
What?
You know, you can have a
Why is
sign
it-
at a sporting event. Yeah.
Was there a joke in that, or is it just the joke is like so literal?
The joke is that it's very literal.
That's so cute. You guys are adorable. I wore a shirt that said "The bones are their money."
Oh yeah, that's
And,
great.
That was from the art. You think you should leave
Yeah.
sketch, but I didn't go as anything. But Poppy put on a wizard hat on me, and I thought it was a witch hat, but it was. If it's floppy, it's a wizard.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
Just-
Wizards.
yes.
Just know that if it's flops, it's a wizard. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We will be here next week. Don't even think we won't. I'll be in Boston tonight, Thursday night, tomorrow, Friday, and then on Baltimore on Saturday. So come out to see shows. Don't be care.
Don't be
And
good at all.
just come on, Taylor.
Wear a
take it.
floppy hat.
Juju.
Juju. Juju. Goo goo.
Juju.